Okay, so for notifications, we'll start off with the creation of activity. Let me say this as notification activity. Yeah, okay, we covered this, and so let me just create a button where on click of this button we will see how to create an activity. So go to hello world, let's say this as so here let me call it as btn create and just say create. We just have these things, which is create notification and on. Fine. So on click of this button, we'll see how we can actually create a notification and how we can actually see from the notification how to go to some other activities too, right? So let's go to button. So let's go to the class first, which is our notifications activity. So this notifications activity, let's keep it in our main activity. So let me call it as notification activity. Call this class and save. Fine. Okay, let me just now in this let us say try catch and let us take the button hold. We have btn create, so create that. Okay, let me click on this add now. So let us handle that on click event, set on click event as name on event like this. So let's implement this view. Perfect. So in this on click we have to write a logic to create a notification. Okay? So what we'll do, so instead of writing everything in this event, let me create a separate method. We don't need this right now. So just let this create notification. Let us say this is our method we want. So let's go ahead and say create method notification. Okay. So this is our method now. Let's write this. Now, so this notification part, right? So this is as same as creating one notification, and whenever you get a notification and when you select that, right, which means you're actually going to separate activity to see the what exactly the notification you've got, right? So for that we need one separate activity so that we can actually move to that activity and see what exactly is going on, right? So let me create a new activity for that. So let me call it as
Srinath, is that notification is like when you give, I mean, when some event occurred, then it should notify, right?
Yeah, it can be like event occurred in the sense when you yes, basically like you want to show some let's say you got a new mail, right, which means it can be an event or it can be a push service data, right? It can be anything.
Yeah.
Right?
So it shouldn't be like a button click or on, I mean,
because we don't have
like,
yes, it shouldn't be like in the sense see, I'm just giving a trigger here. Whatever push you are getting from server, right? So the same thing happens, right? If you are getting any push means on your native activity you will be getting some trigger, right? So that trigger can be, I'm saying it can be an event. So as of now what we are checking out is we are checking out some button event. right?
So when you click the button, then it should happen.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So the situation can be different as such. It can be button click, or you are getting a request, or you are getting actually feed from the host, which is from a web service, let us say, right? You are getting a web service request, and again, if you are getting web service request, again you have to handle some event here. Both are same. Right? Even if you are clicking on button, yeah.
You will explain today about the notifications, how we have to do, and when you come for networking, that is our last concept. I
Okay,
suppose.
okay, yeah.
So when we come for networking, can you show me again with with a real time example?
Yeah, definitely. I'll show you that. See, when we come to networking, right? So I think you do you guys have knowledge on web services?
A little.
No issues. We will try to create one type of web service. I'll show you. I'll show you how to create a web service, how to actually make use of web services in Android app. I'll show you both. Okay. I'll show you how the connection happens too. We don't have that, but yes, I'll show you even that part in our internet part, right? I'll show you that part. Okay. How to connect, and we'll see how we can actually push some data from the service and how we can actually handle that here. How to create a notification when a notification happens. How to click on that and how to go to corresponding activity. I'll show you complete flow. Don't worry about that. Okay. So for now, let us see how we can actually handle notification. Fine, Geeta? Right? Any doubt? Oh, everyone is silent. Any doubts? I'll take up the complete flow. I'll give you the complete flow as such. Okay.
Okay, fine.
So, okay. So let's create this, which is our. So let me just say. So this is notified activity. Right? I'm just giving some data here so that we'll see that. Okay, it is a notified event. Now we are not going to go to this activity directly from our notifications direct activity, but we'll go to this activity based on the notification alert, and on select of that alert we'll go to this notification activity. Fine? We'll see how to create. The first step will be the intent part. So until unless you have any intent, right, you can't even create our notifications. Now first step will be creation of intent. Let me create an intent, which is like let's call it as maybe LOBJ I1, right, is equal to now intent of. So we have to go from this notification activity, which is I'm not getting this. Oh, okay. There was a spelling mistake. No fee. That's right. Activity dot this, comma. Then to which activity you want to go on this event of alert. Now we want to go to notification notify one dot activity dot class. So we have just created this intent, and in this intent, because intent is the only interface we have where if you want to move across activities, you have to use your intent, right? And then how to create this notification is the first step of creation of notification is creation of intent anyways, and then you have to make this intent as a pending intent. So we have one type of intent called pending intent, right? So there you have to mention which intent you want to make as a pending intent. So we'll make it as LOBJ pending intent as P1 is equal to. So you have, so this pending intent, if you can see, right, it's an a separate Android app intent which we have. So we will be creating that using your pending intent dot get activity, which is which activity you want to make a pending intent. So context, give it as application context, and this request code again. You remember the request code, I hope. So when we created our activity result, right? So if you want to make sure that, okay, what exactly you want to pass the data, right? From where you are actually passing when you get the result. So that is where we use the request code. So let us make it as 0. Let's say it's my 0th request code you want. And then you have your intent. Now this intent, I'll be mentioning it as my I1. And the flags again, if you want to pass on some constant, right? we can pass again. Apart from request code, if you want to pass any flags, which is you want to pass something like some event, yeah, I want to do this part, I got a new mail, or you want to reply to that mail, or you want to forward that mail, so those flags are right. So as of now, let's make it as C. So this is how we can create a pending event, pending intent as such, right? So once we are done with these two, then we can create a separate object called notification object. Now let us see how we can. So this is the first step of creation of object. Now let me modelize this. Now let's go to the next step. So the next main step is to create a notification. So notification is a direct class in Android app. Let me just say LOTJ notification is equal to, just give some attention here guys. So we are going to create an object of notification in some different manner here. So obviously you have to create a new. So we will be creating something called notification. We have an internal method called builder, right? So this notification builder will actually create a notification for us. So this builder will be taking up notification application context, and before instantiating, you can actually give some internal method calls to here itself, which is you have dot, you have something called, so for this you can actually give some parameters directly, something called set, let's say content title, let's say content title, right? So let's see how we can actually do that. So this dot part, let me take it aside. So title part, let's say I'm giving something called, let's take an example of mail, right? Let me give it as new mail, right? So this is one thing we have set, and then let's say we'll increase it with set, let's say content.
Is this
text.
the pop-up text, Srinath?
Sorry, is this that?
Pop-up, we'll get one pop-up, right?
Exactly.
In that pop-up.
Exactly. Whatever you want to show that in our pop, in the sense, whatever you want to show on the top when you drag your screen, right? Whatever you want to show, different contents will be mentioned here itself, right? For each notification, we have to do this, right? So let's say this text is sample text, like let's say please check your mail, please update the meeting, something. You want to show some text, right? And then you have to see, sometimes in notifications, right, we see some icon, right, will be shown. So that is something called set icon, or set, we have small icon, yes, small icon. Here you have to set. Now for this icon, we need to have some icons here, right? So I've just taken some icons here, I've just kept some icons ready. So let me take mail icon, or mail icon, and some icons like image icon or some delete icon. Let me copy them in my drawable here, right? So now I'm going to use them as r dot, which is r dot drawable, sorry, you have your r dot drawable dot. So let us use something called, so what is the name of this? Main logo, right? We'll use that main logo here, which will give us a small icon as our Gmail, right? There is a small icon, and then you have to set what intent you want to go when you click on that. So for that we have to set something called set intent, sorry, set, you have something called, yeah, pending intent, set content intent of pending. So we have to give the hold of this pending intent. So basically when you give this pending intent, right, it will be pointing to your main intent. Basically you have to give that intent part, and then so once you are done with this pending intent, then you can actually add up your build, which is, you can just say dot build. So this will actually build your notification. So this is how we actually give the build actually. So what is error there? Okay, you have to give suppressing something. If something not goes, let's give suppress surface, suppress of notification. Now suppressing is something like, if you Like if you get any issue, right, then you have to handle this. I hope you know what is suppressing, right? Suppressing is nothing but if you are getting any error with respect to any of these objects, right, then it will actually direct you to exception. That is your suppression. Right? So this is the second step of creation of your notification.
Again, please.
Now, do you have any doubts in this part?
No,
yeah.
okay, so you have suppressing part.
Sorry?
Suppressing part.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
suppressing.
Yeah. So suppressing part comes in two ways. Now, whenever you say suppress, right, suppress is nothing but, see, during design time, right, during design time, let's say, let me just create something. Let us say I have a thread. Just say I'm going to use something called dot. Let's say I'm going to stop it. Right? Now you can see here, it says, actually stop is something which is a deprecated method, right? I'm just giving you an example which I've already learned. Now, it is a deprecated method. It says you shouldn't use this, and you can see here it says if there is any warning, I want to suppress. When you click on this, right, now you can see it says suppress warning of deprecation. If you get any warning of deprecation, it won't show a yellow line here or here. That is something where I am suppressing my warnings. So is that clear? First step.
So is it same like
Yeah.
adding some code under the catch block, handling
Uh,
exceptions?
Like, you already put something, what is exactly doing that? Like,
See, what it exactly doing is, when I say suppress warnings, right, if I don't do suppress warnings, it will show wherever there is a declaration warning, it will always show you some yellow line beneath that. Can you see that part? So in this case, what I am doing is, when I say whatever deprecation methods I am using, don't show it as a warning. That is something I am suppressing. So this stop is something which is deprecated, right? Am I right? First step, stop is a deprecated method. How to know that? You can see a cross line on that. And I am saying here, whenever there is a deprecation, don't show it as a warning. That's why it is not showing as a warning, which means I'm suppressing something here. You understood that part first, guys?
Yes.
Yes, no?
so it's particularly only for,
I think in Android we have another deprecated method for tagged layout.
Yes, we have so many actually. We have so many. See, whatever you have in Java, right, it will also be there in Java, in Android. Right? So not only this, if you can take something called obj dot, you have something called so like destroy, let's say, right? Even this destroy method is a deprecated method normally. You can see here, right? Destroy is deprecated, but we are not getting any warning. Why? Because we have deprecated all.
Already
Exactly.
deprecated.
We have suppressed all the warnings with respect to deprecation. Now, if I remove this, now you can see it will both will show you. Now that is the meaning of suppressing something. Now in this case, what we are suppressing is, if you are getting any new API type, right? If you are getting any warnings with respect to lint of new API, right? Now new API can be, I'm just giving a builder of my context, right? So this context can actually give me anything, right? So those type of things I want to suppress, and now I'm putting something on suppress during runtime. I don't want to get that type of suppressing. If I remove this, let me just remove these things. Let me get back to that. Now you can see that I'm actually getting suppress off filter. You can see whenever there is a new API, right, notification, I want to suppress that. That's where if I give a new API suppressing, it won't get any error during runtime. Fine. So now this suppression you have to it will force you to actually suppress these warnings. Don't worry about that. If you are using some other editor, like if you are using your NetBeans for Android development, right, again it will force you to suppress some thing to use a builder. That is an inbuilt thing we have in like you are actually agreeing for something to create a builder. Fine.
Srinath,
Yeah, Geeta.
this is Geeta.
Hey, Geeta.
So can you write any exception code under catch block instead of adding suppress warnings?
Yeah, we can write, but the only thing is, so this is something, right? See, this suppression, see, when you suppress, right, it doesn't mean that if you write something here, it won't go. This is for sure you have to add. There is,
Okay.
yeah, but why I'm saying catch here is, instead of doing suppressing something, if you get anything, you have to handle that part here, I said, right? Maybe you can actually show it as a toast, maybe, or you can log in D, in your log D, right? So that you can actually see it in there. So that thing you can do, right? So that is
Okay.
it. But suppression part, yes, you have to do for sure.
Yeah, and but since this is built in the API, this class notification, why is it asking us as a new? It is a new API.
No, we never know, right? Maybe this intent doesn't exist at all, right?
Okay.
Whatever we are getting from push service, right? Maybe that request intent is, that request activity itself is not there. Then obviously you have to suppress a new API, definitely, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And can
Maybe-
you please
Yeah, sure. Go
explain
ahead.
me the pending intent? I just got lost with it.
Okay, pending intent is something that, see, for notification, right, we can't directly give intent. You have to create something as pending intent, because why we are creating pending intent is, whenever we get notification, right, right, you are not actually going to that activity directly, right? On click of this notification, we want to go to that activity. First step. Second step, in order to go to that activity, what you have to create? You have to create an intent. First, fine.
Yeah.
But here, if you start the intent, right, it will directly go to that activity. But before going to that activity, I want to show that as a notification, which means your pending activity will save a state of intent.
Okay.
And when you click on that pending activity, then it will start this intent. That is why we have to use
Okay.
pending intent. Right?
Yeah. So every time it is to be used pending
Exactly.
activity and the main
Exactly.
activity for
Yes.
notification. Okay. Thank you.
Fine with that? Yeah.
Yes.
Then, so once you have built this, which means you can actually start up your notification. Now, in order to start your notification, you have something called notification manager. Right? So this is something which is used to start your, or normally we don't say start your notification, we say notify your notification. Right? Notify it. So we have to use this notification manager. Let me just say it as nm is equal to. So we have to get this notification service from our activity itself, Android activity. So you have one inbuilt method called get something called service, or sorry, get system service. Yeah, get system service. Now you have many services. So in this we'll be using something called notification service. So once you actually call a notification service, it will actually give you hold of object. And you have to typecast it to notification manager. Now you have a hold of internal Android apps notification manager as an object. Right? And then you can directly say notify it. Notification manager dot, you have something called notify. Yes, notify here. You can directly notify, or as we have a notification created, right? You can directly use that notification, and you have to mention ID. So this ID can be random. You can generate a random ID, or if you don't want to do that, just use some notification. Fine. So this is how you create a notification, and in between there is one thing called flags for notification manager. Right? You can actually, there will be some default flags. What is a default flag? Like if you have already used your, if you are using some Android phone, right? If you don't want to use that notification, what you can do? Just drag to left, it will be, the notification will be cancelled. Am I right? Or if you clear all the notifications will be cleared. I don't know whether you are using that. I'll show you in this emulator, as there will be some things which will be shown here. I'll show you that part, right? So for adding more flags, right, what you have to use is, you have to use a symbol called OR, which means by default, give the existing flags, which is dot flags, I mean, you have to use something called, why I'm not getting a notification dot, you have something called flags. Yes, flags. By default, I want to keep all the default flags, and I also want to add one flag called let me go to something called notification dot, we have flag auto cancel, right? If you don't want to use, you can actually cancel the notification there itself. Okay? You can add more notifications as such, but I'm giving one thing so that I want to show how to append more notification flags to the notification object you have. Okay, so this will give you the way how notification will be shown on screen. Let me run this. I'll show you how it works. Is it working? Launching communication. Let me close this. Okay, it is installing now. Let me go to this activity. Okay, so we have replaced this main activity, guys. In main activity, have we called this notification? Yeah, we have called.
Yes, I think it is.
Simulator 5556. It's fine. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, take. So I think you will be having communication here. Click on that. Okay, we got a notification, right? So let me click on create here. Create. You can see here a small image, right? Can you guys see this? Yeah, this is a notification we got. So when I click and drag it, right, now you can see, right, new mail, please update the meeting. This is a notification which I've got. When I click on this, right, we are pointing to some other activity, right? Now you can see this is a notified activity. Understood this part? Now you can see there are no notifications on top. So this is about only Android guys. Don't compare this with any other phone, like not with iPhone or anything. In Android, the style of showing notifications is on the top of your title. I mean, this power and this bar, right? You'll actually see the notification bar. This area is notifications area, basically. Now let me go back again. Now when I click on create, now you can see there is no notification here. When I click on this, now you can see the small image will appear, which you have added. And when you drag it up, now you can see, you can actually see, you have said the main title is new mail, and basically we'll show something, right? Whatever is there, the content of mail, we are just showing, please update the meeting and so on. And when you click on that, right, now you can see it will actually go to the another activity, which is this is notified activity. Right? So this is how we create notifications. Now,
And
Yes.
from this we go back in the real time, right? We go back and we press the go back button and then we go back to the main page of our phone. So
sorry, what is that, Nabila? If you go back,
in Android, when we get the notification like that, like with an iPhone, we have, let's say I press this, I have a notification from WhatsApp or from email. Go back to the main screen. What I do normally, I press the go back button, right?
okay.
So here, do we need to implement this in the coding or just the same thing in the emulator, we just press the go back button and it will go back?
No, it's all up to you. See, anyways, you have an option to go back from your notification activity to main activity, right? You can do that. Or what you can do is you can actually, in your notification activity, you can create a separate button. When you click on that button, you want to go to main inbox activity. Yes, you can do that. It all depends on how you want to implement. But you can do that, right? Yeah, Nabila, was that your question?
Yeah, sure. No, thanks.
Okay, fine. Sure. So this notification is one part, guys. So here, maybe in your real time you would have seen something more, which is you will have a mail. Maybe you want to do something like delete, reply and all, which are sub actions of these notifications. Definitely. Right, each and every, like if you are talking about call, right, let's say you got a missed call. For that missed call, this is the main action is missed call notification. So beneath that we will be having callback or message or something, which are called as a sub actions of that notifications, right? So let us see how we can actually create sub actions of notifications. Now here in the notification area itself, so let us say, let me just create two more activities which are sub action activities. So let's go back and create other activity.
Srinath, in real time, Srinath?
Yeah, Sandhya.
In real time, when you have a alert like when you get a new mail, when you click on that mail, it will directly go to the mail inbox, right?
No. When you click on that mail, right? So see, there are two things. If you get one mail, right? So when you click on that notification, it will directly take you to the actual mail window, where you can see the content, subject and all. But sometimes, if you have got 3-4 mails continuously, that notification will be converted to a notification. On click of that, it will go to your inbox normally, right? So those are two different notification types, right?
So yeah, that is my question, because then when I normally press my
Yes.
now it directly take me to the inbox and I can see 3 or 4 emails.
Okay, so those things are two different. Maybe if you don't check, see, first mail you got, you don't check it immediately. If you get second mail, right, that notification will be converted to notification which will take you to inbox. Why? Because you have more than one mail to view, right? That's why it will take. If you have only one mail, definitely it will take you to the mail window itself. Fine.
So Android internally handle it differently, right? If there is a one mail, it will handle it different. If there is a 2 or 3 mails,
Exactly.
Okay.
See, what it will give is, it will just say that there is a mail from backend, right? So in your Android, you will be checking, okay, I got a feed that user got one mail. So immediately what Android will do, app will check its own database, and it will see how many new mails are there. If there are new mails which are recent mails, right, it will be having an update that, okay, from this time, okay, we got 2 mails. Then what it will do, it will create a new notification where it will say these are some mails you have got. So when you click on that, it will go to inbox. So this is something which is a implementation, right? It all depends on, it will be different to different. Now, if you take an example of missed calls, right? If you get more than 2 missed calls, right? What it will do, when you click on that, it will directly go to the contacts list, the recent logs list, am I right? But if you got only one missed call, when you click on that, again it will go to logs, but it will give an option of calling or messaging or sending a Skype message or Viber message and all. It will give based on the APIs, the apps you have. Right? It all depends on how you want to implement your notification. I'll show you multiple custom notifications, what exactly I'm talking about. Fine. So let's say this is something called notify reply notification. This is one notification. So here let me just say, I'll just give something called reply to mail, something. This is one activity, and let me create one more activity, which is maybe forward notification. Let's say this is notification forward, right? So here in this, let's say this is a notification where you want to forward a mail. Let's say I'll just give something called forward a mail, right? So let me create one more notification where I'll just say delete mail. Notification delete, and here let's say I'm going to give uh, delete net, something. I'm just showing some data so that whatever implementation you want, you can do that, right? So now we have three different activities to show, right? So for three different activities, obviously you have to create three different pending activities, right? First step. Now let me create that. So this is the main method. Notification was notify one activity. So let me create three different intents for three different activities. So LOPG, let me call it as I2 is equal to new intent of I want to go from current activity dot this comma you have. So the first one is notification. What are the different activities we created? First activity, let's take it as notification reply, right? Which is we notify reply activity dot class. So these are first intent. Let me create three intents, which is 3 and 4. Now second one is notify. You have something called notification forward activity, and the third one is you have notification delete, right? Delete activity. So these are three intents you have, and for these three intents you have to create three pending intents. So let me create a pending intent. LOBJ, let me call it as pending P2 is equal to new, you have to create it using your pending intent dot get activity, right? So now here context, so let me say I am not interested in request code, and intent here I want to give intent to and flag 0. Fine. Let me copy this. So we have pending 3 and pending 4 intent, where I'm going to give my intent third and delete intent, which is fourth. These are we will create a, for each screen you want to show, you have to create a separate pending intent and corresponding intent. Now how can we match these things in our notification area is a question. Now for that we have something called dot add action. This add action is nothing but these actions will be shown as a sub actions of your main notification area. Now here let's give some icon. Let me give r dot drawable dot. So what is the image we are using for, let's say, reply, right? So let us use reply img1, some image, and title is something called reply. Just take it as reply, and in the intent you have to give some pending intent. Let me give pending intent as P2. So P2 is replying to reply activity, and then dot add action. You can add more, r dot drawable dot. So this is to forward, right? So let's go ahead and see which one we can use. Let me use image 2. Have you got this image? We have image. Let me take one more, maybe something. Let me take some this image. Copy this and let me use that image dot img2 for maybe forward, and it is the next intent, which is LOBJ P2. And let me add one more action, r dot drawable dot. You have icon delete. Let's for delete, let's just make it as delete, and this is for delete, and your intent will be P3. Right? So this is how sub actions can be actually created in this way. For each and everything you have to create different. Right? So that is how we can actually do this part. Now let us run this. Okay. Now let me run this part. You can see it is installing something.
Shrillak,
Yeah, Geeta.
we can, I mean, many times we also see the time with the notification when the notification was received.
Yes, okay. Yeah, you can append your time with this text itself, right? So whenever you get a notification, right, you can take the current time and append that to this, right? Yeah, okay. Let me just see whether I can do that. You have something called date little dot. You can actually get the date time. Just here. Hours, value of its string. What you can do? Let me take a calendar. Can is equal to new calendar. Oops. Anonymous type. Why I'm not able to create a sorry calendar dot get instance, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a string str time is equal to calendar dot get get time, which will give you a data file dot, let's say I'm just saying dot to the to string, and this string, let's say I'm going to append to my string new mail. Yes. Okay, so let me run this again. So it is installing communication. It is starting activity. Let me click on this communication. So let me click on create here. So you can see yes, drag it. Now you can see this, right? New mail at so the date. Right, now you can see these things, right? So these are some actions which I was talking about. Now you can see there are sub actions. So when you click on this reply, you can see it will directly go to the activity which is reply to mail. Right? Drag it up again. You want to go to third, you can see it will take you to the forward mail. Why it is not going to forward? Oh, I have taken C. I'm sorry. I just gave same Indian, right? That's why I didn't get that. That's fine. Right? And in the same way, if you can see here, which is your next, you delete, click on that. Okay, when I click on delete, maybe it will go to forward. When I click on delete, it will go to the forward. Okay, forward, right? Anyways, I've changed it. So this is how the sub actions will work normally, right? Sub actions will work in case of the notifications, and now it all depends on you, right? What exactly you want to show, right? You want to show time, right? Everything you can actually check out here itself. So it is installing. Let me just open this video 1 second. Yeah, let's go to communication here. So basically what happens is Android inbuilt, right, itself will show you the time normally. So notification time when you have got, right, I hope you would have seen that. Let me check that out, because notification with respect to the current time of your mobile, right, it will show when the notification I've got. Some few things with your Android itself will actually show you that. But if you want to show it exclusively, you can also show that. Let me create a notification. So drag it up. I think yes, this one. So this 2:24 p.m. right, this is actually generated by Android itself. We are not showing this, but we are showing this part, new mail at so on so on. Right, now click on forward here. Right, it will take you to forward. Drag it up, and you can see if you click on new mail again, click on this. Now it will take you to the mother activity, which is notified. So this is how we can actually create notifications, and now we can increase the concept you want as per your requirement which you have, right? So, but this is the main way how we can actually create notification. Okay? Now there is one more thing. Let's say whenever you actually create a notification, you want to send some data. Let's say you want to actually use only one activity, and you want to do different actions, right? It can also be done. You can't, maybe you are not supposed to create so many activities, right? But you want to do few things where you want to use only one activity, right? So let me create one common activity. So this part will be fun again. So let me create a new activity. So let us call it as notify common activity. So here what I'll do is so this text we are going to set dynamically, right? Dynamically with respect to the notification activity. Now here let us say I'll take the same intents, but let me comment this up. I don't want to delete them because maybe you want to check this. So here what I'm going to do here is I'm taking all the intents again, but what I'll do here is I'll just say the common notification, which is common activity every day, right? Every time I'm going to do the common, which means whatever I click on, right, it will go to the common activity, but I want to show based on the like let's say my intent 2 is for reply, intent 3 is for forward, intent 4 is for query. Now how can I handle them in the same activity, right? So it is by actually sending some bundle data again. It's again a simple thing, which is, let's say for I2 I'm going to put extra. So this is how you can actually send some data using a notification. Let's say I'm going to give it as a service. So here let me just say it as something called reply. I'm going to use the same key for our activities. So this is my I3 intent, this one, and for my this intent, whenever I click on this, I want to go to something else. So this service is forward, and this service is something called delete, let's say. But you can see I'm actually giving the same intent for all, right? I'm using the same activity for all. I'm creating different intents with different services as such, right? Here I'm using the concept of sending data from from pending activity or current intent whenever you click on that action, and how can we handle the same thing in a common activity. That is what we mentioned. So let's go to the class here. Now here we have to handle that part. So let's say here we have something called bundle, BNDL is equal to get intent, because anyways we are going to get, whenever we click on this, right, we are going to get this intent instance to this dot, you can say get extras. So here let me take a string lstr service, what service is that, and bundle dot get string of key. So we have a common key called service, right? Let me take that service key here. Right, done. Then now based on the service we'll show the notification. That's it. Service dot equals so and so, show something else, so and so, show something, and else if show something, and else show something. Now here first is you have to make sure this value is saved. Let's say if it is reply, we'll do something. If it is forward, we'll do something, and if it's delete, we'll do something else. Right? So if it is not, we'll do something else. So here let me take a common variable here, string lstr response, what to show. And so in the reply, let's say I want to show it as selected service. Let me just say reply directly, and here it is forward, and here it is delete. And if nothing is being done, let's say it is not applicable. Now after that, let's create a toast dot make text application context, just say selected duration, maybe toast of log dot show. Fine. And in the same way, let's handle the text view too, because we have in our common activity we have our text, right? So for this text view, let's give an ID. So to this ID, let's say I'm giving some txt response, let's say txt res, right? So here we'll handle that. Obj txt is equal to find view by id of r dot id dot you have txt response, and typecast it to text view. And once we're done, just say obj txt dot set text of lstr response. Fine. So you can just say selected again here. Fine. So this is how we are going to use the same common notification activity, and this is how you can actually send some data if you want to send particular data, right? Which means, as we are talking about callback, right? If it is a callback, then you want to do something else, you can actually send them using your bundling concept, which is through intent again, right? So let me run this. Starting with click on communication. Okay, so now when I click on create here, now you can see this. Let me drag it up. Right, when I click on reply, it will go to my common activity. Now you can see selected reply. Right, drag it again, click on forward. Now again notify common activity. Why we got reply? So if it is service, okay, let us check out one more delete, click here. It is giving continuously reply, guys. So we have intent, separate intent for this, pending intent, service reply, and for this we have put extra of service of forward and this. Perfect. If you go to common activity, we are trying to get a service. If it equals to reply, we are doing reply. And if it is forward, we are trying to get a forward, right? Oh, okay. Every time the service is, let's do one thing. That's fine. When I'm clicking on this service, which is this pending activity, it is pointing to I3, and I3 will have its own put extra of service. So this should send only that again. Okay. You guys can see anything wrong here, guys? You can help me. I don't see anything here apart wrong. Put extra of service is same. Apply forward delete I'm giving. I'm handling the same thing here. Let's do one thing. Let me go back and click on communication. Okay, so I click on his communication. Click on create. It will create. So let me click on forward delete directly. I think it will show you reply. I think this is doing something here. Okay, instead of using the same, let's say I'm going to use 1 and 2 here. So here, let us do one thing. Let's contains key. Let's say so I can also use this. Just say the service. Use this. Select the service, and service, and press this. We have underscore 2. Let's check this out. Okay, we have a connection back here. Create. Click on forward. Come on. this intent is exclusive to this intent. I'm placing it separate service here.
I think the string is not getting appended.
Which string?
LSTRREP.
Appended in the sense? It should not, right?
Not appended. Yes.
It should not, right? Because I should not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the code looks good, but
I think we are actually getting this right. Then I think we should give the actual service here. What is happening here?
what are we passing in toast?
Sorry, what are we? I think in toast we are selected response, right? Whatever we are assigning here, right?
Yeah,
So just
right.
showing that actually, and based on the service we are selecting, right?
Right.
We should get that. It's string yes, everything I think it's going, everything is fine. So if there is an exception, so I'm going to make it.
Srinath, here we are using reply, forward and delete using else or if as structure. Can we use some other structure like switch case? Does it make any difference?
Here, even here,
Yeah.
yeah, we can use switch case too, but as we have only 3 parts, right? That's why I didn't choose switch case. And this should also work, right, Nabila? Yeah, you can also use switch case too. Yeah. But the thing is, why it is now moving to the next one? What extra of this and this notification? Yes, we are going to notification class and it should create a separate intent as such. And when I create an action, okay, so I'll get back to you. So you can also try this on, right? I just wanted to create a common activity where we can use that activity for multiple notifications, right? Sorry, multiple sub notification actions, right? We will try this out. Okay, so we'll see what exactly is.
Can you upload this code to Dropbox?
Yeah, I'll do it right away. I'll do it.
Yeah, so that we'll see what happens.
Definitely. I'll do it right away, right?
Yeah.
I'll do it now, fine. And I'll also upload this video too. First try the notification bar. I mean, how to create notification, then try to increase the concept to more. I just wanted to try that. Try that, then I'll try, okay? I will see what can be done.